Well, greetings, business communication students. This is Mr.D, and we are on week number 12 here of our business communications course at Cerritos College. And this week we're going to be talking a little bit about interviewing and following up after an interview, which is a very important topic. Obviously, it's one thing to get your foot in the door through your resume and cover letter. It's a whole other thing once you get your foot in the door to sell yourself, and that's where being able to be a good interviewer comes in, being professional. We talked about professionalism a few weeks back, and being professional and presenting yourself in such a way. I know oftentimes we put a lot of emphasis on dress, but certainly in an interview, that's true. You must really play the part and wear the right appropriate attire for the interview. You should always bring your resume, copy of your resume with you, even though everything's electronic anymore. It's nice to have that in case they want to reference something on it. You have something visible to look at. It's also great to bring a list of all your references. Now, one thing that's probably changed over the years is putting on your resume references upon request is really unnecessary. It's just wasted space and it's already assumed. So you don't need to put that on your resume, but you do need to bring a list of your references to your interview just in case they ask for them, or usually they'll ask for them via email anymore. They'll just say, hey, what's your references? Or they'll even require you to fill out a reference form at some point. But having them available is also handy for you to be able to hand it to your interviewers. You also want to bring a paper and pen. You want to write down the name of all your interviewers because you want to make sure that you follow up. And that's the other part of this chapter is writing what we call a follow-up or a thank you letter to your interviewers, and it's very important to do that. Every single job interview that I've ever went on in the last 5-10 years, I've always wrote the name down of every person. I either got their email or their card right then, or I even looked it up on the internet, got their email address, and I sent them all a thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me, and I might even have added a little bit more reminder of who I was and what skills I have in that little follow-up thank you letter. And it's proven to be pretty effective. I can tell you that I've gotten a lot of second interviews in college environments. I've also, built a little bit of a relationship with some of these people over the years. So it's a valuable thing to get in, a valuable habit to get into. So anyway, we're in this week, so I'm going to go ahead and enter into our course here. I'm going to share my screen first and go into our class here, Business Communications, BCOT 247, and of course we are in, believe it or not, our final and third module that was started a week ago, and so we are wrapping it up quickly. We have a few more weeks and then we're going to be our final week. So anyway, here we are in week number 11 is what came up first. That's the beginning of module 3. So last week we covered chapter 13 on employment communications, and we focused predominantly on your cover letter, although the resume was also explained in chapter 13. So this week we're going to be writing our resume. Last week we wrote our cover letter. And by the way, I'll be grading those over the week. It takes me a little bit of time because I got to read each one, and then I want to make sure you formatted it like a letter, and then I'm making sure you use design elements to improve the readability, and that you formatted it like it should as a cover letter, with the first paragraph being how you heard about the job and what specific job you're applying for, and then the second and third paragraphs is really the details of how your skills meet the required skills for the job. And then the last paragraph, usually the fourth paragraph, is going to be you requesting an interview and making it very easy for them to get a hold of you, so that you can hopefully get your foot in the door and be able to go and present to them yourself in person. So anyway, that's what chapter 13 covered, is the job. You did a little job search thing. You guys gave me 3 jobs that you found that you thought you could qualify for, or that you would like to qualify for. And then you're going to select one of those to write your cover letter to and your resume. So this week you're going to take that same information that you used to create your cover letter, and now you're going to create your resume, or should I say modify your resume to follow the job listing. That's one thing you need to remember, is every job, it's different. So you should tailor your cover letter and your resume to each job specifically. Gone is the days when I used to look for a job, we'd send out 100 resumes that were all identical and hope somebody gave us a call. That doesn't work anymore. You have to tailor it specifically to the job opening. And so that's why I had you find a job and now you wrote your cover letter. Now you're going to develop and modify your resume. Make sure you format your resume like the book suggests, where you have your address block at the top, then you have your objective, then you have your skills, then you have your work experience, and you have your education, or vice versa. You have any other trainings or certificates or anything noteworthy at the end you want to put, etc. Again, you don't need to put anything about your references on your resume. Make sure it's formatted nicely, that every job is distinctly different, that you have a bullet list for all your duties, that you use headings, you use bold text, underlined text, etc. to make your resume really stand out. And the one thing you want to do is you want your resume to stand out. You want to be noticed, right? In a pile of resumes, you want yours to look better and different, and not by using perfume or pink paper. You want it to be by the way that it's laid out and how professional it looks. So we'll be covering some of that in this week's chapter. But as well, you're going to be looking at interviewing skills. So this week, you're going to have a homework assignment answering some interview questions. We used to do this in person on campus, but these are all online courses. And I tried it the first semester I tried to do interviews, and it just was too difficult to arrange. And getting all the students together, it was a nightmare. So we decided just to, at least for the moment, I moved it into just some questions for your homework. I just want to make sure you understand how you should answer these questions as well. The last question asks you, what should you bring with you to your interview? And I did already talk a little bit about that earlier in this video. Of course, you have a quiz on chapter 14, which is based on the chapter on interviewing here in the textbook. And then you have your writing assignment number 6, which is the resume. So I'll be looking at those and grading those next week, maybe a little bit during this week and then into next week. So be watching. And very important, when I grade your writing assignments, a few things I wanted to say about them is, number one, you are welcome to, well, first off, I encourage you to read my comments. They're extremely important. I put a lot of time into those comments. So I want to make sure you get what I'm saying, and that you can either A, apply it to the same document, just redo it and listen to my comments, redo your resume, redo your cover letter, or even any of the other writing assignments we've already done. You can go in, you can read my comments, you can edit your document, you can re-upload it, I'll regrade it, and chances are you'll get a higher score, okay? At any time in this class, if you want to redo your writing assignments for a better score, you can do that based off of my comments. Or you can say, I'm happy with what I got, but my next writing assignment, I'm going to apply what the professor had put in my notes and in the comments on my other writing assignments. So take advantage of the effort that I'm putting in to help you improve in your writing skills and all the rest. So that's pretty much it for this week. Again, this is week 12. Next week, we're going to be starting our group writing assignment. So this is where I will be putting you into a group of 3 to 4 people, and you're going to be writing a proposal. At the end of the course, you're going to get the rest of the course to work together to do this. So I'll be doing a Zoom session next week. It looks like it's going to be on Monday, in this case Monday, so whatever date that is, on Monday the following week, and it's going to be on how to do this writing assignment, how to access your group, how to connect with your other group members, and then what I'm exactly looking for in the writing assignment itself. But it's a group writing assignment. In the workforce today, collaborative writing is extremely common, and you'll be writing various things with other authors, putting all your stuff together. So that's exactly what you're going to be doing in this writing assignment, this final one. And so you'll get the rest of the classes I mentioned to finish it, but you're going to be starting that next week, and we'll be doing a Zoom session on Monday to go over all the details. So just be watching for my email on that. And you can log in and watch the video, or I will record it and it'll be available online after, so that you can see how to access your group and to know what's going to be expected out of that writing assignment. So, all right, everybody, we'll have a great week this week, and I look forward to coming back next week. If you have any questions, issues, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And by the way, I know some of you got a little alarmed when I gave you a 0 in some of your writing assignments, and that's not your final grade. That was just to get your attention, to address what was wrong with your document. Like if you didn't format it like a letter at all, then I did a 0 to get your attention, to at least give you a chance to format it better, appropriately, and then I'd give you a higher score. If not, I'll grade it like it is. It's just going to be quite a low score. So anyway, that was why I gave you a 0. So don't let that alarm you. It's not a final